Hey guys, my name is Tim, and these are my parents. They have homeschooled me and my siblings for 27 years, and you guys asked some good questions. Today we want to answer a question about how do you homeschool kids that are different ages, different grades. And so Tinning Pang wrote and asked this. She asked, how do you homeschool multiple children? This year I have 4, and it can be hard to give enough to everyone. Have your kids been in extracurricular classes and activities? If so, how do you handle all the driving around, or if it interferes with dinner and family time?
Yes, good question. Most homeschooling families do have more than one child. We never tried to reproduce public school in our homeschool. We tried to group children and subjects and let them go at their own pace. We taught several children at once how to talk, how to walk, by letting them do it at their pace, by letting them fail and get up again, some earlier, some younger than others. And so we didn't try to force ours into a certain mold at a certain age, but let them go with what they enjoyed, especially when they were younger. As they got older, it was much easier for them to learn. I'm very committed to starting off slow so they enjoy subjects and they enjoy learning. And then as they get older, you can add content, not push too much of that. We purposely made sure that we didn't get into the car school thing where we were driving all the time. We let them walk to some sports, to even some school activities that were near us, but we kept that to a minimum because you can get running around doing too many things that can take away your joy and your family fun. So you have to know why you're doing this. It's for your family. You're raising people. You're not just trying to input facts into computers.
We had a commitment too that when we had the 6 of them, I didn't want to teach biology more than twice. I didn't want to teach chemistry more than twice. And so we would double up almost every year with some subject or other. And it was just a matter if the younger ones had less intense assignments or their paper didn't have to be 10 pages. It had to be 5 or 3, whatever was appropriate for that age. So we doubled up a lot, regardless of the age of the child, and made it easier for us. And we did not have everybody in multiple activities unless they could walk to it. And we tried to get school done by 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We were within walking distance of the public schools for extracurricular sports and drama and choir and things like that. And so they were able to get themselves there by without being driven. However, when things did need to be in the car, like going to music lessons, we tried to limit that.
We doubled up a lot too. So me and my brother, I would take viola lessons, he would take violin lessons.
Concurrently.
Yeah, and so we would go and take lessons together at the same time, so I was learning a different instrument, but we were still kind of working on the same songs, just different sheet music. And so I think we tried to double up, and doubling up, I also remember doing a lot of reading, and we did a lot of Spanish and chemistry and a lot of those subjects together as a group, even though I was a grade or 2 or 3 ahead, depending on the sibling, but we were all just kind of learning it together. And I think the younger ones were up to par with it, and I didn't feel held back at all, I still
graduated. You just have less expectations for the assignments that you would give to each one of them.
Yeah.
They never knew what grade they were in. Somebody to ask what grade are you in, and they wouldn't know. That got to be a joke among homeschoolers.
Well, I'm in 5th grade for this, I'm in 7th grade for that subject, and it's just find the medium and call that your grade.
Yeah, that used to be, you can know you're a homeschooler if you don't know what grade you're in.
Yeah, so I think the goal is actually, to solidify your family. So if you find things that are starting to tear that apart, then I would probably back off on whatever it is that's tearing you apart. So for example, in sports, Dan and I have talked a little bit about this. In our family, we're going to hopefully try to find sports that we can do together as a family. So right now it's wrestling just on the living room floor because all the kids like to wrestle. But when they want to get older, if they want to do soccer, well, let's find either soccer that's happening at the same time, and all the family can either be on the same field somewhere. Maybe Hannah's off on one field and Zeke's on the other field, but they're in the same location the same day of the night, but we're not doing all this different back and forth stuff. Or maybe tennis where we can all be on the court at the same time. Zeke and Hannah can play me and Dana or something like that, So trying to find activities that bring us together rather than allowing all the other forces outside to tear us apart, because that will happen really easy.
And kids will have so many interests. They'll want to do everything. And I think it's good for them to explore all those interests. It's just that they don't have to be exploring them all in the same semester or all even in the same year. And if they have 3 interests, maybe you can divide it up over 3 different seasons, or try something out at a camp in the summer or something like that. But you have to keep in mind that extracurricular activities are just that. They're extra. And we have mainstreamed, soccer practice and music lessons and all these kinds of things into a have to have, mandatory, obligated to do, or you're the bad parent if you say, oh no, my child is not in a sport this season because his older brother is in a sport. And next season or next semester, this one will have a chance and the other one sits out. I don't think that if you have a big family, it's a bad thing for them to realize they have to take turns.
Yeah, you're not stifling their creativity or anything. You're just teaching them that life has boundaries, and you're helping them establish those for their life as they go forward, being able to say no to things that aren't good for whatever your goals are. In this case, hopefully, it's your family team and your family unit. So.
Homeschooling is a marathon event, not a sprint. And parents who try to sprint each year wear out and don't go the distance. You got to settle into a pace you can keep for year after year.
Right. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below about how you handle this issue with working with kids of multiple ages in your family, and also not being split up between too many extracurricular events. Comment below, share your advice, and we would love to hear from you guys. Any other questions you have, comment below. Subscribe if this is your first time here, and we will see you guys again next week for another Q&A homeschool session with my parents.